time for a very special guest. Her name is Karen Gillan. She is currently starring as Amy Pond, the Doctor's companion in the latest series of Doctor Who. She's been in the last two, will be in the next. I spoke to her earlier tonight, just before the program, all the way from London, and we began by talking about the fact that she has just trod the boards. She's been in a play in London.
I have indeed, yeah. I was in a play at the Donmar Warehouse Theatre in London called Inadmissible Evidence, and it was amazing fun. It was so much fun.
Is that the first time you've been in a stage performance?
Yes. It really, really scared me. But I totally fell in love with the play when I read it. And then, I don't know, it's something that I've wanted to do for so long, and it's something I wish to continue with. So it was so exciting for me.
How important is it to do that sort of thing? And I know you've got other projects coming up, to make sure that you're kind of not typecast in the Doctor Who character or the Doctor Who role that you play of Amy, while you're actually still in Doctor Who.
Being typecast after Doctor Who isn't something that really worries me, actually. It's not really crossed my mind, because I'm going to choose a variety of projects, one way or another, And I think it's good to step away from Doctor Who while I'm doing it and do other things, because then you get to come back to it with a fresh pair of eyes almost, and it's just better for the development of your character.
So is there much of a future for Amy on Doctor Who at the moment? That's what everybody wants to know.
I think there is, yeah.
Okay, so you're definitely in the 7th season and maybe beyond, because of course we know 2013 is the 50th anniversary.
It is, which is an amazing milestone for the show. There's no confirmed plans or anything for that, to celebrate that, but I'm definitely coming back next year.
Okay, I'm very excited to hear that, because you weren't much of a fan of the show before you joined it. Have you become a fan? Have you gone back and looked at a lot of the old episodes?
I'm a huge fan of it. I know, a lot of facts about it now.
Really?
Yeah,
Hit me with some of those facts. I want to know some of the facts.
Oh, my God. Oh, no! You have to ask me questions. I can't just pluck them out.
Okay, who's your favourite companion, then?
Billy Piper, Rose.
Yeah. That's fairly recent, though. Everyone loves Billy Piper. What about before that?
Oh, Sarah Jane, it would have to be.
That's everyone's second favourite. But these days, you'd be the favourite companion, wouldn't you? You've really nailed this character. Everybody loves Amy. Everyone loves Karen, though, don't they? Why do you reckon she has struck a chord with so many fans of the program?
Oh, well, that's very nice of you to say. I don't know. It's really difficult to look at objectively. I have no idea. I think that the character is really well written by Stephen Moffat, and I think she's a good mixture of kind of heart, but also she's kind of funny how, I don't know, mean she can be at the same time.
But people must be telling you why they like her. I know Doctor Who fans tend to be a little bit obsessed, but what have you learnt from the perhaps not so mad fans about why they like you so much?
I don't know. I think a few of them have said that. I think with Amy and Rory, actually, they really connect with that as a unit almost. And I don't know. It's because they're normal people, like ordinary people being put in quite an extraordinary situation. So I guess people connect with that in a way.
Yeah. Okay, you have the most beautiful Scottish accent. You probably don't think you have an accent, but I guarantee that you do, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And it's,
thanks.
Well, can I ask you, though, this is very unusual in a way for a companion or indeed a Doctor Who to have an accent. How difficult was it to convince the producers to keep your accent, or in fact did they not mind, given that one of the previous Doctors wasn't allowed to use his Scottish accent?
Ah, yes, David Tennant. I think it's because the previous Doctor, Christopher Eccleston, had a northern accent, and they didn't want it to become like a sort of tour of the regions of Britain, I guess. But with me, I auditioned in my own accent and an English accent, and then it was only after I was cast that the producers decided to go with my own one. So actually, I wasn't really involved in that decision at all. But I'm glad that they went with my own one, because it's just kind of a bit more, I've got a bit more freedom then.
Okay. Do you consider that Doctor Who, when you were going for the role, would be a bit of an acting challenge, playing in Doctor Who?
Yes, completely. I mean, I'd never done a leading role like that in anything before, so that was scary. I knew I was going to be working along a very talented young man named Matt Smith, who I first saw play the Doctor in my audition, and suddenly went, "Whoa, this is going to be really good." So I knew that it was definitely going to be a challenge, and also just because there's so many extremities that you have to play in Doctor Who, it's so high octane all the time, so you have to find different ways to approach kind of extreme situations.
Do you think it was easier, the fact that you and Matt began the show at the same time, that you weren't coming in and playing alongside someone who'd already, had a companion?
Yes, completely. I'm so glad that we started at the same time, just because we've gone through an amazing experience together, and it would have been so different had he already been on the show for a few years and I came and joined him. So we will always share that, which is lovely.
It looks like it's unbelievable fun. Now, that's partly because I suppose Matt has that kind of twinkle in his eye and the smile always on his lips, but tell me how much fun it is to star in Doctor Who and to basically get to do whatever you like.
I can genuinely say, and we're not told to say this in any way, but it is the most fun. It really is. I guess it's what you make it, because it's really hard work. It's grueling, and we work in the most insane conditions all through winter in Wales. It's kind of awful sometimes. But then the fun side of it is that we get to run around and be in this amazing show and do it with people that we have so much fun with. And
go out into the desert and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
What about, though, when you read the script and you think, oh, come on, they don't want me to do that? I mean, in the first episode, when you were dressed in that sexy police officer's uniform, do you reckon they snuck that in early so that you didn't complain?
No, they didn't, actually, because that was never referenced in the script. That was kind of my idea with the costume designer. He tried to put me in trousers, and I was like, no, let's go with the skirt thing. I just thought it would be kind of a stronger image, and it was quite funny if she's trying to deal with this situation of having to run away from aliens in really inappropriate attire.
With the first episode of a new series of a new Doctor Who, people are generally concentrating on the Doctor. All of a sudden, everybody's looking at you.
I didn't see that coming with the whole outfit thing, and that certainly wasn't the plan with it. I just thought it would be funny, if anything. So yeah, that was a bit of a weird one, actually.
Got my attention, I can tell you that. And then the next episode, you're in your dressing gown as well, covered in slime in a whole lot of scenes as well. Do you say, hang on a minute, when's she going to get out of this dressing gown?
I didn't really see that as a thing at all, actually, because, that wasn't actually a very revealing outfit at all. I mean, I had a massive thing on, so it was kind of all right.
Okay. A lot of actors like to have a backstory for their character when they're, whether they're playing that character in a movie or a TV show or a stage play. But actually, we meet you as a young girl in that first episode. Yeah. So how helpful was that in being able, and I know it was your cousin, I think, who played that little girl, play you as a little girl. What did that do to your character? How did that make it a bit easier to know who Amy was?
Well, it's amazing because I think it helps the audience invest in the character in a way like no other companion, actually, because we get to see this real vulnerable side of her so early on, and then we understand that she's kind of quite defensive and feisty because she's covering up the little girl that she still is, if you know what I mean, and we kind of get that as an audience straight away, so there's kind of that sympathies there, which I rather like, and for me it's just good to know what actually happened. And it's just it's something great to play with.
But we not only learn about your